The NYPD is the enemy of safe cycling in New York City.
Guys, I'm in Chelsea where tragedy struck on Monday morning. During Monday's rush hour, a 36-year-old investment banker was killed while using New York City's ultra-popular bike share program called Citi Bike. Now, this is the very first fatality in the history of the program. They've had over 43 million successful rides so far and counting, as you can see by none of the bikes being available behind me. Every single one has been rented out. Now, the man's name, he was Dan Hanegby of Brooklyn Heights, according to a statement from the DCPI. Hanegby was riding a Citi Bike on 26th Street between 7th and 8th Avenues before Hanegby fell to the ground, resulting in him being run over by the rear tires of a charter bus. He suffered some serious injuries. Witnesses on the scene had said that he was alive and it looked like he was breathing. He was immediately taken to Bellevue Hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Thinking about the kind of person that he was and what he was doing, the choice he was making was a choice on behalf of everyone in Manhattan.
Right.
He was saying every day when I take my kids to school, I'm not going to jump in a car and create traffic for other people. I'm going to choose to live my life by taking public transportation, by taking bicycles, which is being thoughtful to other people.
Now, the incident is currently under investigation. The man driving the charter bus, this 53-year-old man, has not been identified nor charged as of yet. Now, I'm no pro bike rider, obviously, but I wanted to check out firsthand. So I rented my own Citi Bike and took a ride carefully around the accident site. Now, there are over 1.5 million cyclists in New York City, according to the Department of Transportation. And the stats from 2015 are very interesting. There was 232 fatalities on the streets of New York City regarding involving motor vehicles. 14 of those in 2015 were cyclist accidents. 81 of those were auto-to-auto accidents. And get this, 137, the most by far, were deaths of pedestrians on the streets of New York City. So according to the DOT, it's far more dangerous to be a pedestrian than driving or riding a bike here.
Here's the question I have. Does anybody know, how did he fall off the bike in the first place? Because it sounds like this was totally preventable and really didn't have anything to do with the congestion. It sounds like it was a terrible accident.
Yeah. From what I've seen from the accounts and from what the New York Police Department came out and said is that he was traveling between a parked car and this charter bus, and the parked car was actually double parked, so he didn't have much room to navigate. They said he fell off the bike and ended up under the bus, which is very tragic. He leaves a wife and 2 children over in Brooklyn Heights where he lives.
A lot of the things I hear about people biking in the city is that there aren't enough bike lanes, or if there are bike lanes, they are blocked with other things. Did you see that? Did you experience that driving a bike around?
I was just going to mention that. You know, city cyclists for years have been clamoring for better bike lanes in the city, because you'll have 2 blocks of a great bike lane and then it'll go away with no real direction on where to go. There's traffic lights, but then there's also bicyclist stoplights as well that have little bikes on them, green, yellow, and red. And it's not easy for a first timer, especially because tourists use these Citi Bikes so much. I don't know if they're ready, but then again,
yeah, but of course the challenge with that is the traffic is already so bad. If you try to move that out, I mean, it sounds like they can enforce the laws that they already have, and they've done a pretty good job of it given the relatively low number of accidents.
Rohan, was the guy wearing a helmet?
No, from all accounts, he wasn't wearing a helmet. Secondly, the bus tires, the rear tires, ran over his entire torso. So a helmet would not have, saved his life in this situation.
Helmet so much for a bus.
For a very, very promising young man.
Thank you, Rohan.